From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
World, it's the one and only Pop Dibiase, the primetime capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. And I hope you are feeling the same. It is Monday, the first day of the week. And yeah, it's September 11th, man. And it's a very somber day for everybody in the US of A and around the world as well, too. This is one of the darkest days ever. You know, everybody knows what happened in New York City. You know, the towers and everything fell over. I was actually a high school senior at the time at Old Pasadena High School back in 2001. That year was the second day of school as well too. So pretty much, I had to go to school that day as well, and it was just a crazy thing knowing that everybody was really looking focused at on the same exact thing. You know, usually back then in the world, it wasn't about everybody looking at the same thing at the same time, but this one right here was an event that everybody had to be somewhat a part of, and everybody had to be on alert as well too. New York was hit, but there were other cities that they wanted to hit as well too, and it just didn't work out for those terrorists. But at the end of the day, though, man, it doesn't matter what we all think as a people, what might be going on in the background of the situation and everything like that. Lives were lost, people's families were destroyed, and pretty much it's one of the worst days for anybody in this country, period, point blank, because a lot of things changed. That was the day that the old world died, in my opinion. So with that, let's go ahead and talk about some funner things, the finer things, the things that keep us all distracted nowadays. And that's going to be the Bolt report. And pretty much the Chargers lose late lead as Dolphins win 38-36 in the final minutes. Yes, NFL week 1 did deliver. This was the game of the day, the game of the week, whatever you want to call it. This game delivered in every facet of the word. Me and Jeff talked about this on NFL Bet Exchange as well too, that game was going to be an absolute epic matchup, and that it was going to play into a very, very big, you know, um, into the big picture of things for the NFL. These two teams do have the look of a playoff team. They are playing in divisions with teams that are pretty much ahead of them at this point, but that's just going off of what you felt last season. It's a brand new season, it's a brand new script, it's a brand new life for a lot of these teams. And I think that the Chargers yesterday won this game many times and then lost this game many times as well. But you just can't fathom how good Tua was yesterday. Tua threw for over 400 yards, the most out of anybody. Um, and the way he was getting the ball out, it reminded me of Steve Young in his prime. It truly did. And I watched a lot of Steve Young. So I think I can kind of say, that they kind of are similar. And I don't like comparing anybody to any players from the past or anything like that. But I did feel like yesterday, Tua was on the money yesterday. I felt like Tua was really, really, he had arrived. And a lot of people had their gripes with Tua. Everybody said that he wasn't, big enough to be a quarterback in the NFL. He might not be smart enough to be a quarterback in the NFL. And you know what? At the end of the day, those people were absolutely wrong. And you know why Brian Flores will probably never get another head coaching job? Because he refused to let this guy grow and develop and be a great player. We almost really pretty much saw Tua get shut down before he even started, because that's how the coach felt about him moving forward. But he had an excellent game yesterday, and it was something that the Chargers probably weren't expecting. But I did watch all the press conferences last night with the Chargers, and I specifically watched the defensive guys' interviews, and Derwin James stood out the most. He said that at the end of the day, we have to get off the field on third down. It's that simple. And we have to be able to fix these things in practice. And we work on these things every day. We have to be more disciplined. And when you get carved up the way that they did by Tyreek Hill, the fastest man in the NFL, the fastest man I've ever seen on a football field. Yeah, I seen him play live. It's not TV. I seen him play live. It's different when you see somebody live and they do it for you there. And pretty much Tyreek Hill has always been, he always shows out when he's in LA. It doesn't matter. And he did the same exact thing yesterday. And he did it with a guy that they felt was an inferior quarterback as well too. So that goes to show you how improved Tyreek Hill is from 5 years ago. That's absolutely amazing. And I truly feel that the Chargers know that they should have won this game by a lot of points. They should have won this game like 38-24. But once again, the defense did not give the offense any breaks. The offense goes out there, scores a touchdown, defense gives a touchdown up. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat until we get down to the final drives of the game. And Miami can finish their drive because their offense has been in sync all day and they're running the same exact plays, but this defense can't stop them. Well, the Chargers go out and they try to run the same exact plays, and Miami showed who had the better defense at the end of the game. And that's just pretty much the simple answer to winning and losing. And that's because that defense decided to finish the game, unlike the Chargers defense did. But all in all, when you look at the offense's performance, you're not going to question the offense's performance. They did a great job. And I felt like a lot of people really were heavy on Justin Herbert's head about what he did. But I felt like Justin really didn't do anything that wrong at the end of the day. He played the game that was in front of him, and he did a damn good job of it. And the Chargers did a damn good job of being able to balance things as well too. But I feel like they just did not run enough clock. The Chargers are a team that can eat up a lot of yards in a very quick amount of time, and that might be something that hinders them when it comes to actually closing these games, because when they get into a four-quarter situation where they need to get yards and get those yards now, they run into some problems. And that's exactly what happened. But I would say it's week one. Both these teams, if they didn't have to play each other, they would have probably blown out their opponent. It didn't matter who it was. The Chargers and Dolphins looked really good yesterday. And if you want to be kind of bold and say to yourself, possibly this could be the AFC Championship game, go ahead and bet it today, because these guys are must-see TV, both of these teams. And they're going to be the talk of the league for the rest of the season. And their quarterbacks are going to be the talk of the league for the rest of the season. But once again, we all have to remember it's week one. We can't put all of our eggs in one basket and say that these guys are going to be historic. They're going to be this, that, and the third. It's 1 week. It's one game, and we move on to the next. And that's exactly what the mentality is right now with the Chargers out at the practice facility. And that's exactly what the mentality is with the Miami Dolphins right now, who have to go to New England and play on Sunday, while the Chargers have a date with the Titans in Tennessee on Sunday. And on Sunday morning, Cali time, but Sunday afternoon in Tennessee time. And then, the Dolphins play on the Sunday night football tilt against their arch rival, the Patriots. But this will be a very good learning lesson for this team. And do I blame the coach for what happened yesterday? Absolutely not. I felt like coach put together a good game plan. They did exactly what they wanted to do. It just was the defense couldn't get the stops that they needed at the time they needed to get those stops. And that's been the problem with the Chargers for, I don't know, the last 20 years. And it seems like they're the same exact team every single year. So hopefully they can break that stench, that ideology that they are just a middling team, because they're much better than that. Their roster calls for this team to take it to the next level. And I know they got that in the back of their heads as well, too. So we move on, and let's go ahead and talk about our next topic at hand, and that's going to be this, and that's going to be the Texas Longhorns. Texas shocks the CFB universe, beating Bama 34-24 in Tuscaloosa. Are they back? That's the question. Are they back? Because they absolutely showed up and showed out. Literally, they had guys on the sideline yelling